What's up, YouTube? Toxic Chronic coming at you with another video. Obviously here today, got my first face cam vid, many more to come. But we'll go ahead and start it off right today. Talk about just a few of the new nutrients I got, and these will be getting used on the current clones I have. Hopefully the clones I cut, which I'll have a video coming soon about all that good stuff. Will root. So anyway, here featured I have a new line of nutrients. So before I talk about them, I just want to say shout out to Grow Generation. It's a local grow store, and if you're ever in the area, go ahead and check them out. Even if not, give them a call. Maybe they ship to you. It's worth a shot, so hit up my boy over there and see what they can do for you. So let's go ahead and get into this. Basically, he hit me up. He told me there was a company willing to, give me a sample pack of the newts if I'd be willing to run them and talk about them in my, obviously on my channel. So again, I got some clones in a tent, and I got a video coming that will explain what they are and what they're going to be. And I'm going to go ahead and give these a shot on those. And I think I might also still grab new bottles of some Fox Farm. I think I'm going to do a half and half. I'm going to run these and see what they, how they compare to the Fox Farm. So this is going to be a company called Prescription Blend. So we'll start here. We got our A and B. Core A, Core B, and on the backs it tells you for all measurements are in millimeters per gallon, and you can refer to prescriptionblend.com for usage guidelines. It tells you what they all contain and all that good stuff. So there's the A and B, and we have the big data. Now, I'm honestly not going to go into detail at this moment on each one because I just don't have all my facts here with me at the moment. But basically, they're all going to be used for the entirety of the run, but one, which I don't remember which one it is off the top of my head, but again, I'll have a video coming to you guys soon that'll explain what each one has in it, what they're being used for, how I'm using them. Now, just like most other nutrients, as far as liquid nutrients that I've run across, it does recommend them to be used every other water or every other week, basically. So you're going to want to be using just regular water in between each nutrient usage. That way you're not overfeeding them, and you don't end up with any of those types of problems. So basically, like the Fox Farm I'm using right now, guys, is very commonly known, and when you do the measurements, some of them are teaspoons per gallon, some of them are tablespoons per gallon. Now, tablespoons can they can add up when you're doing so many per gallon and you're using so many gallons to water your plants. So this here is actually milliliters per gallon. It's a lot more concentrated, and that's going to allow not only the product to last longer, but in my opinion helps you measure it out a little easier because you're not using as much. And my boy over at Grow Generation hooked me up with a couple of the tubes so I can measure them out. And basically I'll just take them and I'll unscrew the lid here, and I'll dip this down into there as such, and pull out the measurements as needed. So, just talking about a whole lot of stuff today, but again, mainly the nutrients is going to be the big focus that I got going. So anybody that knows, we're a couple weeks away from flower, or a couple weeks away from harvest in the flower tent. So that's definitely exciting. That's coming to you guys soon. Let me go ahead and run through the rest of these nutrients with you guys. So we have the biocide. And again, I'm not really going to go into detail about each one until I have my facts back in front of me. Unfortunately, I don't at the moment, so no worries. We'll get that all to you. And again, I'm going to be using them, so I'm going to do a lot of talking about them as the run continues. you know, as far as what I'm doing, what measurements I've found work for me, all that good stuff. So another thing to mention is my boy did say that if you aerate your water, so I personally at the moment don't aerate my water, but if you do aerate your water with the concentration of these nutrients, you can make them last a lot longer. I think he said 1 to 2 weeks basically. So you can make a pre-blend of nutrients and let it sit in the aerated water if you have like H2O pump, and it'll allow you not to have to measure out every single time. But again, this is a company called Prescription Blend, so check them out. Prescription Blend, and like I said, I can't really, you know, say I got good things to say about them at the moment because I haven't used them myself. But my boy said they're really good. There's no metals or anything like that in the nutrients, and there's a website where you can go to see that. You know, there's also a website that shows you metal levels and other nutrients. So there's a few websites out there where you can look up nutrients and see if they have any metals. Unfortunately, not enough companies mention the metals that are in their nutrients on the bottle, because I don't believe it's a requirement as far as you know, federal law goes. So I don't think that's a requirement. But the ones that do, some states have outlawed a lot of things as far as cocos and nutrients and other potting soils for having metals. I live in the state of Michigan, where they let a lot more things slide as far as the agricultural, in my opinion, agriculture, as far as soils and things like that. But again, with our market opening up, there's, you know, I mean, a lot more laws coming down on things like that, and the process that goes through. So, you know, if you get your product from caregivers, or you get your product, you know, other places, then you just need to be careful of things like that. But just give me a second here, and I'm gonna run through the rest of these because honestly, this is my first time running a multiple. Let's see, what's it called? I forgot what, there's like a name for it, but like for the A, B, and then the other amendments, there's a name for running all of these, because with the Fox Farm, it's just like a 3-step thing type of deal, guys. Basically, you run 2 of the 3 during veg, you stop running the 1 and run the 3rd one with the other. So there's Grow Big, there's Big Bloom, and Tiger Bloom. So it was explained to me, basically you'll run the Big Bloom and the Grow Big during veg, and then you'll cut out the Grow Big and run the Big Bloom and the Tiger Bloom during flower. Over here, so we got the Biocide. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's either going to be the Big Data or the precursor, but I believe it's going to be the Big Data. I have to double check that, but basically you're going to run all of these throughout the entire grow, and then you'll add this to the mix during flower. So basically we got phosphorus and potassium for flower formation, helps promote sugar production, supports enzyme function in flowering plants. So yeah, I believe this Big Data is going to be the one you'll leave out until you're ready to flower. And again, on the back, they all have a 1, 2, 3, 4 week, how much milliliters per gallon you'll use. And yeah, so again, it says 0 milliliters during vegetation, and then you'll start adding the liquid to your watering process during flowering. And so it only goes to 4 weeks, because on average people usually flower out clones for about a month, 4 weeks, and then they transfer over to flower. So basically, if you're going any longer than 4 weeks, specifically if you're growing from seed, you're going to want to just stay at week 4. So let me see if I can get you a close-up. Let me grab this A because it's a little bigger. I guess they're all the same size. So, 1 second here. Basically here, on this chart that you see, let me get that right for you. So here on this chart, guys, You see the vegetative 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you see the flowering / fruiting. So basically, on the 1, 2, 3, 4, it's 5, and then 10 milliliters per gallon. So if you go any longer than 4 weeks, you're going to want to stay right there at 10 milliliters per gallon, and then it maps you out to a 8-week flowering cycle. And again, if you go longer than 8 weeks, you'll just stay right whatever levels it has you feeding at week 8. So we'll run the rest of these throughout veg, and so we got, again, the big data. We got the biosci I already mentioned. We got the precursor 1. Feeds root zone microorganisms, helps increase trichrome density, supplements organic acids. Give me 1 second here, guys. And a lot of people wonder, I do smoke blunt wraps, cigarillos, whatever you want to call them, games. I smoke papers from time to time, and I'm really trying to transfer over to papers, but for now, we'll enjoy. Alright, so let's see, I didn't mention, okay, so the biosci, I mentioned it, but I'll just tell you the 3 main things. So it improves resistance to heat and water stress, it increases cell wall rigidity, basically makes the cell wall stronger, or rigidity, and then plant available amino silica complex. A lot of these words are beyond me. I know what a lot of them mean, I know what they were referring to, but you just really got to do your own research, guys. That people can tell you anything, and that goes for anything in life. I could tell you, whatever I want until my face turned blue, but it's up to you to actually do something with it. So, somebody can say, helps does this, helps does this, helps does this, but if you don't actually research what any of that means, it really means nothing to you. Let me go ahead and get off Fortnite here, guys. Alright. So next we have the kelpful. 1 second. So the kelpful, guys, they all have the chart on the back. Tells you how many milliliters per gallon to use in each week. So for those who don't know, obviously keeping track of how long you're growing from the day that they're planted to everything is really important. Being organized is usually the most important part in making sure you have no flaws. Now, obviously, flaws, they find themselves, but organization can help you with that. So this is the kelpful. Growth factors from sea plants. If you know anything about sea plants, they grow like crazy, cold processed, and apply to roots or foliage. So it stimulates root growth. It helps the plant adjust to temperatures, things like that. And as far as the A and B, amino acid micronutrient complexes, primary and secondary nutrients for all growth stages, specifically optimized for medical gardens. So, again, prescription blend. It says right on the bags, prescription blend, plant food for medical gardens. So, this is a nutrient line that is supposed to give you top-notch bud. Again, guys, I started off CFLs. They're all documented on my channel. If you check out my channel, you'll see. I ran CFLs with dollar store potting soil, and I mean it gets real, guys. You just gotta do whatever works for you. But basically, nutrients aren't something that I've always been familiar with, so I'm gonna give them a shot. I appreciate Prescription Blend for giving me the opportunity. I appreciate my boy Santiago over at Grow Generation. And I hope this video helps somebody. I hope the knowledge I learned with the nutrients and what they do for my plants, helps somebody as well. Helps me. And I hope I can bring you more knowledge about the product and good things to say. So be on the lookout for that and everything else I got coming. Until next time, guys, Toxic Chronic out. Yo, my bad, guys. Last thing I wanted to mention, if you were interested in getting some merch like this here, go ahead and hit up my email and just let me know your name and address, things like that, what you'd be interested in. We can get you pretty much anything, hats, hoodies, sweatpants, whatever it is, t-shirts. We'll go ahead and I'll send you, prices over, whatever, and we'd be glad to get something out to you. So go ahead, hit my email if you're interested in some merch like this here, and I'd be glad to get something out to you. I also got an alternate logo, so hit me up and we'll get it out to you. Thanks again.